Oh, hello everyone, it's Mark Chalero, the owner of MS Classic Cars, and I'm coming right back at you with yet another spectacular vehicle. Today, I'm sitting behind the wheel of a very rare and beautiful 1968 Buick GS400 convertible that is matching numbers. You've got to check this out. To start off this video here, this is non-rehearsed. I'm sure there's going to be some information that I do forget throughout the presentation, so please visit our website at msclassiccars.com for a complete description with a ton of highly detailed photos. If you have or have not been following MS Classic Cars, please note I do only collect number 1 and number 2 condition vehicles. We've been doing that since inception. I'm very proud to say that we're the only classic car dealership in the country that services everything that we sell, and we document the work with an invoice. As an example, with this beautiful car here, I've created a brand new binder, as I do for every vehicle, and the first thing that you see in that binder is the invoice. You can see this in our photo gallery. It clearly documents everything that we've done. The total we invested was $6,251.04. I'll say it over and over again, regardless who restores the car, whether it's a factory correct restoration like this particular vehicle here or a custom car, they all need to be sorted out, and we take great pride at MS Classic Cars doing that, so when the new owner gets the vehicle, they don't have a huge checklist of everything to do to the car. And then we detail these cars to the highest level that we can. We cosmetically improve them, and again, make them super nice, so the new owner can just enjoy them. I will be the one personally handling all the paperwork. I will make sure that goes smoothly. I will also help set up the enclosed transportation after the purchase. Once it's loaded inside the carrier, I'll even cover it with a brand new plastic car cover to ensure that it arrives at your doorstep as clean as it left our showroom. So if you haven't been following MS Classic Cars, please do your homework on us. I think you'll be quite impressed. What I'm going to do today is just read some of these details here. This is information that I have personally written. It's on our website. I'm just going to kind of reference my notes throughout. So I'll start off by saying this attractive. I was just outside with Corey. It's actually a beautiful day today. We're supposed to get a snowstorms tonight, but we were just admiring how beautiful the weather is considering what time of year it is here in New England. The car was parked outside. We were both commenting on just how sexy of a car this is and how beautiful the paint is on this car. It's got really, really nice paint, but it's just a really attractive car. So again, 1968 Buick GS400 convertible is one of only 2,454 ever built. That is a really rare number. It was fully restored, and I would say that this car was restored to drive. This is definitely a car that you can take to a car show, you can get an award, but it's not so over the top that you don't want to drive it. It's just a car that I believe was really restored with intentions to drive. It's loaded with options, including a power top power steering, power windows, power brakes, and factory air conditioning, which, by the way, works great. We service that at MS Classic Cars. It's powered by its original matching numbers 400 V8, which produced 340 horsepower from the factory, and it's coupled to a B2 Turbo Hydra-Matic automatic transmission. In 1968 and 1969, Buick offered the GS400 Coupe and Convertible model. A total of 10,743 coupes were built, and again, only a total of 2,454 convertibles were built. The GS400 models were equipped with the 400 engine with likely lower stated horsepower rating than what the insurance premiums were lower, so they actually said they had 340, but the rumor is they had much more. And it had 440 foot-pounds of torque. They had a 4-barrel Rochester Quadrajet carburetor, dual exhaust, and an available 3-speed Turbo Super Turbine 400 automatic transmission, which was referred to as the finest automatic transmission ever built and commonly called the Turbo Hydra-Matic 400. A 1968 and 1969 GS400 equipped with the TH400 automatic transmission was faster off the line than many of its contemporaries, thanks to the unusual low first gear. As the VIN number of this example and body plate indicate, this example was built on the 3rd week of July in Flint, Michigan as a 68 Buick GS400 two-door convertible that was originally teal blue mist on the exterior with a blue interior. A documented frame-off restoration was completed in 2015. The car currently has 73,819 original miles and less than 5,000 miles since completion of the restoration. MS Classic Cars acquired this car in September of 2021 from the Brian Frank collection. MS Classic Cars started the service process of this vehicle in January of 23 and completed it in February of 23. This is the first time we've ever had it listed for sale. So what I would like to show you here, which again you can see within our photo gallery, is the photos which are worth their weight in gold, because photos really show what the story is. And with here, we will clearly see this was a true body off, frame off restoration. They did a really nice job here with the attention to detail. You'll see here, there's another picture of the car on the hoist, and then you have the frame and on rollers and so forth. You can kind of see how clean the garage was that this person was doing the restoration on. And then what they did is they have pictures of the transmission case, the frame, the engine, and so forth to show that everything was truly matching numbers. We also have some other items that are included here, such as an owner's manual, and then of course we have the manual for the new custom auto sound stereo system. So again, all this information is included. So let's start first off by talking about the exterior of the vehicle. As I just mentioned before, the outside of this car is extremely attractive. I would describe the body of this car as very straight. I think it's got really good gap lines. I really like how the hood shuts. I like how the doors close. I like how the deck lid closes. Did a really nice job with the body. From what I've gathered, just again from doing research, I don't have any receipts. I wasn't able to talk to the person that did the restoration, so there's certain things that I can't confirm. That's very common with classic cars in general. If you don't really have that information provided, it's very difficult to get. But I think based on what I see here, this car retains most of it, if not all of its original sheet metal. Again, the decision was made during the restoration to change the color to scarlet red. This is a beautiful, beautiful color red. It was a factory color, so it's correct for the year. And I think it was a great decision to do a color change with this car, simply because this is the color to get, especially in this year car. You'll notice that the hood does have a unique style hood scoop. It's got some really cool hood trim. That was all kind of restored during the restoration. This front windshield was actually replaced brand new. The side vents here and the windows on the doors and the quarters are original. They are stamped soft ray from the factory. Considering the age, they're in beautiful condition. All of the stainless trim was either restored or replaced. The driver's side mirror, the windshield wipers, the headlights, the bumpers, all the trim, emblems, taillights, etc. Everything was completely gone through when they did the restoration. The car does sit, and I want to make sure I get this correct here, on the original, the 14-inch original wheels were actually upgraded to 15-inch Buick Rally wheels, which did require spacers, but they give the wheel area a much bigger, kind of fuller appearance, which I think looks really cool. And those wheels are actually painted black in the centers, which kind of matches a little bit of the theme of the car. So I think that was a really good choice to use these wheels. If you want to see what wheels the cars came with originally, you can go online and check those out. I think most people would agree this is definitely a little bit more of a muscle kind of look, and it looks really cool. The wheels are wrapped with new Firestone Super Sport F7015 Redline tires. These tires were actually replaced during the time when it was at the Brian Frank collection. So those tires are brand spanking new. They have virtually no miles on them. Do remember, as I said in the opening paragraph when I was reading it, this car just has under 5,000 miles. So since it was restored, so it has been driven. That's the great thing about this car, is it's been driven, it has been somewhat sorted out, and then once again in MS Classic Cars, we took care of doing the additional things that we did when we sorted the car out. Getting into the interior, before I forget, the one thing I want to mention is the convertible top. It does have a brand new black convertible top that has rear glass in it. Again, it's a power top. It works beautifully. You can see within our photo gallery, we took a bunch of pictures with the top up so you can see how nicely it fits. Definitely want to make sure I covered that. The interior of this car, again, during the restoration, the original color of blue was changed to the more desirable color of black. Obviously, a red car with a black interior is just super awesome. This car's interior was all replaced new. There was maybe a few things that were left that do still have a little bit of patina, but most of it has been replaced. So we look at new sun visors, we look at a new rear view mirror here. The dash pad clearly is in beautiful condition. The back portion of the dash has been painted black, still has its original VIN number still intact. All the gauges and everything are factory correct and original to the car. All the switches and everything are in really nice condition. This is a really unique style steering wheel. Proud to say that when we got the car, the steering wheel, because it was original, had some cracks and some imperfections. So we actually restored the steering wheel at MS Classic Cars. We sanded it down, we primed it all, we painted it all, did a beautiful job with that. It looks gorgeous. Joe Fournier, who works for us, did that. I want to tip my hat to him. Looking at the dash here, again, this vehicle does have air conditioning. We got the air conditioning working really good. That's a huge plus with this vehicle, as it is with any vehicle from this generation. Regarding the stereo system, we did replace the stereo. Again, it's a custom auto sound system. It's a little bit more modern, but it looks old. And it also has a dual cone center dash speaker that we put in there as well. So that's brand spanking new. The door panels were replaced new. All the door hardware, like it has a remote driver's mirror. It's got the rollers here for these vent windows. Of course, the door handles, the armrests, the door sills, all that was brand new. The center console is a little bit unique because there's some modification to this, I would say, customization, where they actually painted it and they actually made it silver and black to kind of match a little bit of the interior. It's very hard to find particular trim pieces for these Buicks. So I believe they originally had chrome, if I'm not mistaken, but they painted this. They did a really nice job with the center console. Again, it's got bucket seats, which are very sporty. They're brand new. The rear seats were rear upholstered as well. It's got seat belts. All the carpeting's new. It just is a really classy, spacious interior. And as I had mentioned earlier in the description, besides the power top, it has power windows and air conditioning, custom sound system, and power steering. So it's got all of the things that you would look for you know, as options with a car from this generation. And when you look at the trunk compartment, they did a really nice job restoring the trunk compartment as well. It's got all of its correct factory style splatter paint. They did put a kind of a factory correct style trunk mat back there. That looks really nice as well. But when we open the hood, this is where it gets really nice. This car, again, they did a really nice job with the attention to detail in the engine compartment. The back side of the hood is black. The same thing for the firewall, the inner fenders, the radiator support. Everything is really crisp and clean. Again, the engine is the original matching numbers that's born with 400 V8. Again, as I said earlier, 340 horsepower. That was no slouch. I want you to think about that for a minute. 1968, a 400 engine with 340 horsepower. That's a pretty good amount of horsepower considering when this car was built. So definitely something that's impressive. Again, it still has the original Rochester style 4-barrel carburetor. We did change the intake when it was in our service department. We did a bunch of cool little things here and there, but for the most part, it is all factory correct. It does have factory manifolds, factory dual exhaust system. As I said earlier, it's coupled to that unique automatic transmission. You got to do your homework on the transmission. This car, it's a really smooth operating transmission, but it does allow you to be aggressive with your driving habits. If you want to throw it down in first gear, jump on the gas pedal, you can kind of shift through the gears and so forth. But again, everything under that engine bay is in beautiful condition. Everything is in great working order. Can't say enough about it. As we make our way to the undercarriage is really, really clean. It's nicely detailed. I'm not going to say that the undercarriage is at the same level as maybe the engine compartment or the exterior. But again, as I said earlier in the video, this vehicle was restored to enjoy. So the undercarriage is super clean. Everything was painted black and so forth under the body. A lot of the suspension components, everything was restored or replaced. The fuel system, the steering system, the braking system, the suspension, everything was gone through. And again, we went over everything when it was in our service department to show you how awesome it looks here today. So that kind of wraps up this video here. Again, make sure to check everything out on our website at msclassiccars.com. If you have not signed up for our VIP email blast, we please ask to do that. It is the best way to follow MS Classic Cars. We have thousands of people that open these emails, read them, ask questions, send responses, etc. We're also on all the social media platforms. We'd appreciate if you follow us on there as well. So that kind of concludes this this video here. This is not a cold start that I'm going to do here for you right now. As I just mentioned earlier, we did pull the car outside. I turned the key maybe 2-3 seconds, pumped it a few more times. The second time I turned the key, it fired right up. It goes to high idle. You leave it on high idle for maybe 30 seconds, hit the gas pedal, she comes right down. It idles absolutely beautiful. It runs super. I'll go ahead and show you that here today. We appreciate you watching this video. You can't make that up. Once again, rock and roll.